Hey everybody, I hope you all had a great Monday and I hope the rest of your week goes well. Well, it's been about a month. It will be a month tomorrow that I've made a video. And so I thought I'd get on here and tell you what's been happening with me. And I want to say it's been my summer of worry. I've told most everybody on Facebook what's been going on, and a lot of you already know. But I know some of you probably aren't friends with me on Facebook, and some of you don't do Facebook. And this is how YouTube is how we know each other. But so I think in one of my last videos, I said that I had had a mammogram on my birthday. I had a mammogram done. And so it took them forever to get the results back because they tried to get my prior mammograms from other places that I'd had them done. I'd had them done at 2 other places. And those places are out of business, and they could not get those scans. So it took about 2 or 3 weeks for me to get the results back of this mammogram I had done at the hospital at the county seat. And it came back bad. It came back abnormal. So they scheduled me to come back, and when I came back, she told me, she said, "No, don't worry. We see a lot of this as we get older. We get microcalcifications, and 9 times out of 10, there's nothing wrong." And and she said, "It's small what we found." And but I thought she found one thing, but apparently they found 2. But so I had a spot compression mammogram, and so that day they took her right to the radiologist, and she told me if he thought I needed a biopsy, he would tell me that day. Well, he said it was inconclusive and he would have to study it before he made a decision, so I had to wait another week. So when I got the results of that, they advised me to have a biopsy. So I called my doctor, and he set me up with a doctor in Charleston. That's the state capital. And so last Tuesday, James took me over to Charleston, and I had a biopsy done on my left breast. It's interesting how they do the biopsies, because, I've never really been in the hospital except to have Joshua. I've never been in the hospital overnight except to have him, and that was when I was 22 years old. And I have had ankle surgery, but that was a in and out thing. I didn't stay in the hospital over that. And I wanted to say, I have put off having tests and things done because I'm overweight, and I'm embarrassed about that. But since I've went through this, and I need to tell these women that are heavy and overweight to don't let that hinder you from taking care of yourself and having tests run. It's really sad, but that's how it is. And I know most overweight women are like me, you know what I mean? But anyway, so I was nervous. I didn't know what to expect. And I went over there, and they were treating me with such kindness and dignity, you know what I mean? And so, having that biopsy, it's really funny how they do it. They take you to a room, and of course, you've got this little nothing on, hardly. And the table they put you on is like 3 or 4 feet off the ground. And you have to get up on a stool to get up on the table. And in the middle of that table, sort of in the middle, is a big old hole. It's probably about that big around. It's huge. And it sort of slopes, the table slopes in, and then and you get to the hole, and then it slopes, it gradually goes up again. So you have to lay on your stomach, and you have to put your breast into that hole. And they position you in that hole, and your head's leaning up, and the rest of you, like my butt was up in the air, and my breast was down that hole, and my head was up, and inside that hole is a mammography machine. And so I had two ladies. They were so nice to me. They really were. They put a heated blanket on me to keep me warm, and I was already sweating bullets because I was nervous. You know what I mean? But I didn't say anything to them. I tried to do everything they told me to do. And inside that hole is a mammography machine. And what they do is they take several mammograms of you, and they sort of like coordinate or graft your breast to try to find what they're looking for, which was microcalcifications on my left breast. Well, once they get that all coordinated and grafted in there, and they think they've got the spot, then the doctor, my surgeon, came in, and he had another doctor with him. I think he was a student doctor. But they lift the table up even higher, and then they work underneath of you on chairs. Now, isn't that weird? But that's how they do it. And it probably took 30 minutes for them to get me in there and get me adjusted in there right, and they, do the mammographies, and then have the doctor come in. And he numbed my breast, and basically, to tell you the truth, it was not painful. It really wasn't. I was surprised it was not painful, but he told me that these places that I have in my breast are closer to the skin than usual, and maybe that's why it wasn't painful. But of course, that evening when I came home and the next day, I'm bruised up really pretty bad. And it's painful, and I've kept ice packs on and stuff. But anyway, they told me that for me to call the hospital on Friday to get the results, and the doctor told me that these didn't really concern him. So, I had, it made me feel good that, he says he sees them all the time, and, generally they're nothing. And what he saw on my previous mammogram, he said it doesn't seem worrisome. So, I called Friday, and they did not have my tests. I called her twice on Friday, and she told me I would have to call Monday to get the results. Well, they set me up with a patient portal. I don't know if any of you know what that is. Probably all of you do, but it's new to me because, But it's where you can go in and check your test results and, make appointments and things like that. Well, after church on Sunday, I just thought, well, I'm going to check that and see if they've got anything posted. And they did. They had the results of the pathology results posted. So when I went in there, James was sitting here at the table with me, and I said, "Oh, James, I believe I do have cancer. And I have to be strong. I can't be emotional about it. I have to be strong." And James said, "No, you don't." I said, "Well, that's what it reads like, Let me calm down a little bit. So it said on the pathology report I had ductal carcinoma in situ. And so, carcinoma is cancer. So, James was in shock, and I was too. Because really, I thought it was going to be nothing. I really did. I didn't think it was going to be anything. And I called my sister, and she flabbergasted her. Everybody's in shock, of course, And so today, when I called the doctor, because I was supposed to call him, Monday to get the results, I told him, I had to leave a message. And I told her, I said, I've already seen my results, but I don't know what to do. You know what I mean? So she called me back and told me that the surgeon wanted to see me on Thursday. So I have to go back to Charleston on Thursday, and she told me that he would probably put me to sleep and take me to surgery and put me to sleep and take a bigger biopsy of my breast to see if it had spread anywhere. But now she told me that in situ means that it has not spread, and it's basically first stages of breast cancer. You know what I mean? So hopefully, we've caught this in time, and things are going to be okay. You know what I mean? But, normally I wouldn't get on here, and it's like I said on Facebook, I would not get on here and tell my tales about my medical situations. And, I'm a pretty private person, but, I think it's important that women not be afraid to, especially heavy-set women, not be afraid to go to the doctor and get tests done that they need to have done. And, if I can help one person, to go get taken care of, you know what I mean? So, on Thursday when I come back, I'll probably try to make you a video in that day or the next few days and tell you what's going on. I want to, I think it's important that I share with you what's going on. Not, for you to, not that just because I want to share it, but I think it's important. You know what I mean? And, there's so many of you that I have met in person, and a lot of you feel like family to me, and so I want to be kept in your prayers. If you would keep me in your prayers, and send me those good vibes and things. And I didn't know how I was going to tell my son. I told James I don't want to tell him, because I don't want him to worry. And if I'm going to cry, I'll be crying with him. Just a minute. Okay, I'm back. I didn't want to tell Joshua because, he's in Afghanistan. I don't want to worry him. But my son, he's only got like 16 more days. Praise the Lord. He's only got 16 more days to be over there. And then he's going to go to England for 2 or 3 weeks. And then he's going to come home. And I told him, I said, I told him, I didn't want to tell him. I told him I was hesitant about telling him because I don't want to lay this in his lap. You know what I mean? But my sister said, well, he deserves to know. And James said, go ahead and tell him, So I told him, I said, son, don't you worry. I said, hopefully by the time you get home to us, all right, I'm back again. I told him, I said, son, by the time you get back home to us, maybe everything will be over with. You know what I mean? And I just don't want him to worry. I don't want my husband to worry, because when you have something like this, it's not only you, it affects your whole family. But I'm going to be okay. I believe in the Lord, and I believe that I'm his child, and I believe that he can do anything, and he'll help the doctors, and he'll help me. I really do have that faith that whatever happens, I'm going to be okay. I really will be. So keep me in your prayers. I love most of you that I have met. I love all of you. And sorry to my new subscribers that I have to dump this on you. But I felt it's important that I do share it with maybe a woman that needs help. All right, everybody. This is Melissa reporting from up in the holler. Bye, everybody.